Howdy, folks. Today is Monday, November 17th. It is 4:24 p.m. I'm here at the intersection of Greenwood Avenue and Queen Street East in Leslieville. I just want to check to make sure the stream is coming through crystal clear. Any second now. There we go. It's all good. Zach McNally's here. Drew Costin, Mark D, Kyle Walker, Alicia Lewis, Medano, 1973, Harjot, Sebastian, Fuzzy Colossus, Fearin, I Like to Walk, Nenad, Best Times Reborn, Kyle Walker, City Nights. I'm at the point where I've probably already said some of your names. It is cold. I'll tell you that. It's 4 degrees Celsius, but it feels like it's a bit colder than that. I'm definitely going to be reaching for the tissues a few times on this one, but welcome to the stream. Hey, Jeanette Morales is here. Let me see if I can flip my camera around with my touchscreen gloves. No, they're not working. Transit history by Mobility Scooter, Jesse Cohen. There I am. So what am I doing sitting on some steps on Queen Street East? That's a very good question. Well, I just finished recording a video by a local home builder and architect. No, I'm not trying to sell you houses or anything like that. He was pretty adamant, do not contact him, but it was really cool. We got to do a tour through a home that he designed. All the fittings and everything was like done by him, so we did a tour of the home. It's a home in Leslieville. That'll be up on the channel in a few days, so keep an eye out for that. But that is why I'm here. That is what brought me here. I look kind of stupid. I put the hood up, but the ears are getting kind of cold, so we're gonna get moving. We're in Leslieville again, right at Greenwood. Gertej is here. There's a crazy guy yelling. I'm gonna try to stand out of view. Yeah, I just avoided that. World of craziness walking by. Greetings, Brad Palmer, Andy Wood, Aiden. I don't know how long we're going to be streaming. Oh, the guy's just carrying a guitar. Doot, doot, doot. But I'm going to make my way west as we go west along the south side of Queen Street. This is Knox Avenue. Oop, I got to fix one setting here. Where'd my chat go? Chat, come back. We're gonna make our way west into the setting sun, or towards it. Flying squirrel motorcycle. So again, this won't be the world's longest stream or anything, but wanted to go live, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Friendly reminder to like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I go live next. Usually that's 3-4 times a week. There's a 503 Kingston Road bus, not a streetcar. But this is east of downtown. Hey, Marie Palmer's here, Vlog.ca. So we'll be heading through Leslieville into Riverside. And then it'll be into downtown. There's a car that got towed. Oh, they had a parking ticket on it too. I wonder if parking enforcement arranged that. the guy who just showed me the house he's building, or the house that we toured, is building another one. I think it's on this street. There's a lot with a house that's torn down, so that'll be coming up. So we might be checking out that property in the future. Have I visited Mount Dennis Station yet? It just opened. And 100,000 people have gone there to record, so I'll probably do it this week, but I'm honestly in no hurry to do it. It's not like there's an LRT tram rolling through it right now. It's interesting, but so much of that station has popped up on my feed. Do I want to be the 10 millionth person to do it? I don't know. We'll get around to it. And here is Betty's on the left. I used to go, or Betty's East. I used to go to the Betty's on King Street all the time. This one is quite different. But it's good to see they're still open. Greetings, Eldon. Jeffrey Wu is here.
Stay.
Greetings, JD. It's going to be dark in about half an hour. There's the Balmy Beach Pet Hospital. We are quite a ways from Balmy Beach. Beaches are in the other direction. I wonder if that just relocated and they kept their name. Jenny says, long time no see, you're busy? No worries, glad you're back. Sonia saying hi. It's definitely a Monday. Whoa! That girl literally took off at the worst possible time. They're trying to time their street crossing there. She bolted right as there was a car. I don't know if you guys saw that, but how not to cross the street. As we get to Leslie Street itself. In Leslieville. It's a popular bar and music venue on the left. Duke's, I believe it's called. Duke's Toronto, and the Queen's Head is across the street. Robert Michael with the super chat. Hello, stranger. Well, hello to you, Robert Michael. And if you're just seeing me for the first time looking all foolish, yeah, I've got the hood up. But thank you again, Robert Michael. This is a really old school gas bar. Full service, 141.7. Robert says my dogs watch me. Well, hello. Robert Michael's dogs? There's the 501 Queen Streetcar. This is a really nice part of town. It's got a kind of similar history to the Junction. It was originally very working class. And it's been gentrifying, and it suddenly found itself as one of the more desirable neighborhoods to live. The weak spot here, I think, would be the transit. The Queen Streetcar is just not that good getting through here. Do you ever see the old traveling popcorn carts on the street before? I can't say I do. Philistine goods for people. This place, Radical Road Brewery, is quite good. Been there a few times. I've had some excellent beers. Robert Michael, welcome to Silvertier. Welcome, Robert Michael, to the ranks of Silvertier. Cheers to you, good sir. Johnny, come with me in the Philippines tomorrow and feel the heat, says Jenny Frondug. I've been to the Philippines once. I went to Manila and Boracay and Cebu. And I definitely believe you when you say come here and feel the heat. And that is Jones Street, or Jones Avenue. And that, I believe, is Alexander Muir on that mural. He penned the Maple Leaf Forever. Math Doctor says, howdy do, polar bears. Are you going to revert back to Blue Jay fans once spring training is underway? Robert Michael says, Daisy watches you all winter on the big screen TV. Thank you again, Robert Michael, and thank you for watching Daisy. If I had a dog treat, I'd throw one through the screen at you. Nola Eatery and Bar. Ethan says, it's windy. Is it windy up in Toronto? Yeah, it's windy and cold. In the summer, my phone battery drains because it's so hot, and in the winter, it drains fast because it's so cold. Not quite at those winter temperatures yet, as it's not yet winter, but they're coming. Wolf Gang Bakery and Grooming. It's a clever name. David Ing says it's just another manic Monday. Did you sing that as you typed it? There's a Dave's Hot Chicken. Alvin says not too much traffic. Yeah, this area is pretty quiet. It's 4:39, so the afternoon rush hour just starting. Domino's large 4-topping pizza, $14.99, carry-out special. Allison Tidy says hi from the UK. It looks like winter has arrived in Toronto. Well, we're certainly transitioning into winter. quite here yet, but it's definitely well on the way. And Geo Trattoria. Remarkable Bean. Is this the place I went into and bought a coffee on a live stream before? I'm not sure. I'll tell you, I am not a fan of this building over here. It's a crime not to put retail right on Queen Street. Gabriel, welcome to Silver Tier. Gabriel, thank you so much for joining the ranks of Silver Tier. Welcome aboard. I need to get around to doing a members exclusive video for the month. It's only halfway over. We still got time. Lisa is here. Good evening. And again, if you're just tuning in, I was in Leslieville doing a different kind of video. A residential house tour, actually. So that'll be up on the channel maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday. Hey, look at that Monstera. Oh, there's someone in there. Hey, Mike Landry, $2. Hello, Johnny, and everyone in the chat. Hello to you, Mr. Landry. Thank you so much for the super chat. I imagine it's starting to get pretty cold out there on the East Coast. Then the guy who showed me the house drove me down to another property where he's building a new house. Dig the art on Anvil Jewelry. So since I was down on Queen East, I thought let's just do a live stream. Hazelnut says eat Canadian food. Remember Dangerous Dan's Diner? I think this parking lot usually has like a Christmas lights display up later on. Hey, Howard Charco is here. Kingston again. Matt Doctor says, so which area of Valley am I planning on staying in? I haven't booked any tickets there or made any plans. I think it was Seminac where I stayed last time. Stayed at a pretty nice hotel there. Stayed at a few different hotels. Valley's pretty cool. You can get that beach vacation. You can go up and get a bit more of a remote kind of jungle experience. Not really jungle, but definitely an off the beaten path kind of experience. Hey, Phuket Walk. We're walking through your old hood. Awesome. Johnny, did you ever go to New York City? Yeah, I went during the pandemic, actually. I've been a few times, but most recently I think it was 2001. I went in the summer. And the following summer I went to Amsterdam, and the following summer I went to Paris and Barcelona, and then the summer after that, London and Belgium. And then the summer after that, Picton and Quebec. One of those summers was not like the others. I did not know that. Jenny, which movie? And we're at Carlaw. Carlaw is a pretty awesome street. There's a lot of industrial history on it. This was originally, in the early days of the city, a blue-collar neighborhood. And a few years ago, I was streaming in this area, and it was a very sad day in this neighborhood. This Shoppers Drug Mart had police caution tape all around it. A lady was struck by a stray bullet, I think a mother, and lost her life. There's a safe injection clinic around here, or there was. I think that attracted some people selling certain substances. And there was a dispute and a gun was fired, and something very tragic happened right here. And in Canada, those things happen so infrequently. When it does happen, it just kind of gets burned into your memory. It's a beautiful neighborhood. Would not hesitate to live here. Well, maybe. Not a fan of the transit in this area, but so many great local shops. Mercury Espresso Bar. Someone should really pull those boxes out of the way. There we go. That's my Good Samaritan work for the day. That Jeep, the driver of the Jeep waved at me. I just took him off the street. I think it was a combination of someone being a little careless, putting them down and the wind blowing. Nice neighborhood to live in the 2030s after the Ontario line opens. The Ontario line stop, well, there'll be two over here, but the main one will be a few blocks just west of here. We're about to walk through, right where Leslieville ends and Riverdale begins. Reese says, way to go, good deed. Someone had to do it, I guess. Morgan Tristram, thank you so much for the super chat, Morgan. Morgan says, I'm a somebody. I don't know about that, but I accept your super chat. Thank you, Morgan. But you have, in a nutshell, one of the issues with new developments right here. If you look on that side of the street, there's like a locally owned convenience store, a Thai restaurant, a sushi restaurant, a pub or a public house. Then you look at the new development over here. chain store, chain burger store, Starbucks. I know which side of the street I prefer. That's one of the problems with the newer developments. They tend to price out the smaller businesses. Jimmy Simpson Park is across the street. There's a community center there, I think, and an ice rink. That suitcase looks like it's from the 1980s. Look at that wiener dog. It looks like that lady's walking a squirrel. Hey, Dirk G is here. Greetings, Dirk G. This is Empire Avenue. They hold Jazz Fest over there. That doctor says friendly viewer who? The guy honking? And this is the rail corridor where they're going to be wedging in an Ontario Line subway station. The Ontario Line will be utilizing this rail overpass. There'll be another stop just southwest of here. And it'll shoot over into downtown. And there'll be Corktown Station, and one at Moss Park, and Queen, Osgood, Spadina, Bathurst and King, and then Exhibition. It's going to be interesting to see how these stations look, with it being an above ground part of the track. Dried mango from Manila, says Jenny. But goodbye, Leslieville. Hello, Riverdale. This area, more specifically, is known as Riverside. And there's where the station, I think, the main entrance to the station is going to be. And that street there is Degrassi Street. Yes, that Degrassi Street. They spelled it differently than on the TV show, but that is where it was set from. They even did some recording of the show on that street. Gary M says, hello from Calgary. I like your calming voice. But you haven't seen it when someone almost hits me or heard it. Thank you for supporting local. The Ontario Line is coming. Jimmy's Coffee, Tim Hortons. There used to be a Boxcar Social right around the corner from here that closed down earlier in the year. I think it was right there. Something else is already in that spot. It's called Amber. I think that's where it was. I never went to that location. Matt remembers watching that show as a kid, as do I. Let's keep moving west here. Kingston. People are just crammed onto that thing.
Which is also very funny.
Yeah, Jeanette's here. There's a bibliothèque. Beautiful old building. Popular mural over there. All right, Harjat, take care. Dollarama over there. RD says EJ Lennox designed that. Neat. EJ Lennox designed Casa Loma, Old City Hall, the Stewart Building, and several other notable buildings, which I'm not remembering right now. I just have to take my word for it. The Opera House is coming up. Popular music venue, and they used to operate, I don't know if they still do, like a little restaurant here. It's all closed off. Don't know the story behind that. It's one of two kind of small to medium-sized performance venues. On the 17th, Nick Shoulders, 20, Asim Azhar, 21, Let's Get Physical. There's also the Danforth Music Hall just north of here. And there's the Burrito Queen, fine Mexican grill across the street. Isander Thai Kitchen. I ordered pad thai from that place once on Uber Eats, and I did not like it. That bar's got a cool vibe to it. Riverside Window Wonderland, November 17th through December 10th. So they're kind of doing what they do up in the Junction. I did not know that, Lisa. And there is the former home of Jilly's, now the Broadview Hotel. The rooftop restaurant there is quite fantastic. Rather expensive hotel for what it is. They've got another property, the Gladstone Hotel. And it's quite similar. It's in another grand old building on the west side, right as Parkdale meets West Queen West. There's Eastbound Brewing Company across the street. This is a good little corner to Wet Your Whistle. You've got a bar right here. And of course, Prohibition. I went there this past summer. JD says Jilly's. But we're about to go by a baseball place where the first baseball stadium was in the city. Now it's condos that have a bunch of issues with them. Bunch of new retail spots. Lisa says Prohibition has a good happy hour. Ro says, good news. After 25 years in the country, our family finally managed to purchase a house in the GTA. Though it means you'll be moving to Brampton, but you'll manage. Gonna miss Etobicoke, though. Well, Ro, thank you so much for the support. It's much appreciated, and congrats to your family for taking the plunge and becoming homeowners. Thank you so much for the support, and I would say welcome to home ownership, and I don't know what the hell that is all about, but congrats to you. There's a GO station in Brampton that will whisk you into Toronto. I think that Wendy's is new. I know with the real estate market cooling off, more people are looking to pull the trigger and get into ownership. Or rather, people that were kind of like me, destined to be renters, are considering it. DJ Belmont originally grew up in Brampton. I was born in Brampton, but grew up in Mississauga. My adulthood has been split between Toronto and Seoul, Korea, mostly here. Chad Wabagwan. Thank you so much, Chad. Make sure I like that. Thank you, Chad, for the super chat. Much appreciated to you. Cheers, Chad. I was kind of hoping we'd be catching a pretty mean sunset right now, because this would be a good spot for it, but instead of a spectacular glow, it's kind of dark gray off in the horizon. There's the financial district straight ahead. We got the Canary district over there. And what is this? Like a new on-off ramp to the DVP being built? That is the Don Valley Parkway. As we head over the Queen Street Viaduct. Greetings, Yogi. So I've left Leslieville and left Riverside, and I'm now entering downtown. See a tower lurking in the distance. The next time I walk this way, I should probably take Eastern Avenue. I want to stop and get a look at the CN Tower here. I'll zoom in. It's a pretty badass look. with the clouds going over it. Maybe that's a little too zoomed. I don't know, it looks really neat in person. I don't think the camera's really doing it all that justice, or that much justice. Howard Charkham says sunset at 4:50 p.m. And we're at 574 viewers. Thank you guys. If you want to join in the chat, you do have to be subscribed. It doesn't cost you anything. There's a lot of great people hanging out. So this Tim Hortons, I know someone who works around the corner from here, and they said this Tim Hortons, which is usually absolutely slammed, has been closed. So I'm going to go do a little investigating. It doesn't look open from here. I wonder what the reason is. But Queen Street continues right over there by the Humane Society. I'm electing to walk on King Street. So this is King Street East. Does living in a concrete jungle ever get to you? No. I love the convenience of just having everything steps from where I live. A big bustling city, there's always something going on. So many places to go. It would either be here or somewhere out in nature. But even then, I wouldn't last very long. What I couldn't survive in are like the suburbs. It's kind of like the worst of all worlds, in my opinion. No offense to anyone that likes it there. It's just not my cup of tea. But let's see what's going on with this Tim Hortons. I think this is at least a week it's been shuttered. Closed during renovations. What are they renovating? This restaurant is locally owned and proud to serve this Canadian community. No shit. What else would this be? That's new. That like wall wasn't there before. Can you see inside? CJ says, hi Johnny, what's your favorite architectural style? I love brownstone and industrial open loft designs. Are they building more of those in Toronto? Thank you, CJ. Brownstone, no. Industrial open loft designs, faux ones. The closest thing you're going to get, most of the old warehouses and factories and stuff have already been converted. The newer buildings, you're not going to get a true loft, but there are still a lot of church loft conversions going up. That's the closest you're going to get to that. But thank you so much for the super chat and the support. Favorite design, I actually think the city is best with like a mix of different design languages. My favorite, I mean, this is going to sound cliche, but if I could pick, I would probably pick Art Deco, even though we don't have a lot of it. I think Commerce Court North is quite possibly the nicest building in the city. There's little splashes of it here and there. The RC Harris Water Treatment Plant is certainly a good example of it. Whatever style E.J. Lennox designs in, like Old City Hall, Casa Loma, the Stewart Building, there's an Impact Kitchen. I think it's pretty cool. Tudor style. is one you see a lot of. That place is just called Lift. Come in here and lift. There's someone just squatting with a barbell. I actually watched a video today on the Greek Empire, or the Roman Empire, sorry, and how people back then were like these magnificently sculpted dudes, because they would all train for war and for battle. But even like their artists and their philosophers, everyone did. It was not an option to not have like a chiseled body if you were a man in that society. And they had training techniques that are on par with what we have today, even with all our knowledge. It was quite impressive. So when you see those statues from ancient Greece and stuff, and everyone's all carved out, looking all chiseled, people were really like that back then. I might be confusing my empires. I did have the video on in the background while I was working, but seeing that gym just reminded me of that. And we are at Sumac Street. So we could go south here, down to the Distillery District where the Winter Village Christmas Market is taking place. I'm gonna pass on that. Lisa says good to know. Other fun fact, ancient Greek buildings weren't all white like we see them. They were mostly colored. Apparently a lot of them were like light blue and yellow. We think of those white stone columns and associate that with ancient Greece, but that's only because the paint they used didn't survive. It all washed off. Nat says, I love seeing the places where I have fond memories of. I would say I'm not paranormal witness girl. Janice hates darkness at night. We still got time for it not to be completely dark. Not much time. This is a very long light. The streetcar's heading to the Dufferin Gate. The guy working at squatting is aiming for a big booty in the upcoming summer. It's probably not his intention.
No, you said you would get me when you get your phone.
Someone talking really crazily behind me. We're just going to keep going. So this is Richmond and Adelaide Street I'm heading under. If you're just tuning in, I'm heading west on the south side of King Street East. Started off in Leslieville, now we're on the east side of downtown. There's a popular Italian restaurant called Gusto coming up on the left. They've got a location on King West. At King in Portland, I've never been. I've heard nice things. This says good clandestinos. It's a little dark to check the art out under that underpass. Hey, Raw Music is here. Gusto 501 says Math Doctor. It's the Longev Clinic. Is that like a longevity clinic? Integrated healthcare on your terms? Naturopathic medicine? Is that not an oxymoron? It is quiet. There's a clinic, Vet Nation, or Pet Nation. We're doing veterinary care differently. How is it different? Hey, if you've got a pet, that is super neat to know. There's a 24/7 emergency care facility in the city. Just order up an Uber that accepts pets and come straight here. Reguito, hi Johnny. This funds are for a tasty snack after the live stream. Again, thanks for giving us a live stream this Monday. I hope you had a great weekend from Reguito. 884. Thank you, Reguito. Those funds are actually going to go towards my dinner. I'm going to pick something up on the way home, but thank you so much, Reguito, and you're very welcome for the live stream. Although that's kind of like going into any one of these businesses and thanking the person for showing up to work. I appreciate it. Thank you, Reguito. There's the oldest still operating church in the city.
You know, if there was only...
All right, Carolyn. I don't know if you're saying goodbye to someone else or everyone. Hope you have a good night. There's a giant new Blinds to Go coming up at Parliament. And there is Must and Home Society. I'm a little surprised that store is still there. They must have a killer deal on their rent. That's a giant pair of home furnishing stores that always seem to not have too many people in there. They've got some great deals in the Must section. Marge, Late fees are not a thing, but I'm not opposed to you paying them, but thank you, Marge. Thank you for the $5. Cheers to you. So I am going west on the south side of King Street East. Blinds to go. I'm sure they sell a lot of like curtains and drapes. Yeah, that's what they have in their window. They don't even have blinds. I had blinds in my bedroom as a kid. They were kind of annoying. And cleaning them was super annoying. They get ridiculously dusty. But I guess blinds to go sounds better than window coverings to go. Farshid says, hi Johnny from Dubai. I need like an unlimited tissue dispenser in my coat. Math doctor says I'm observant. We're gonna stay on the south side. Okay, my friend lives in that building right there in the center of the shot. I helped him move in. He went from a basement apartment in Rosedale. I don't know why Metrolinx needs this giant plot of land to build a subway station. I'm guessing it's a staging area. There's an Ontario line stop coming in here. That hum of construction machinery. So you're going to notice the further I go west, there'll be an uptick in pedestrian activity. Here's a rendering of what's coming. This is Berkeley Street. That will be Cooktown Station. The line will go northwest of here up to Moss Park. Eric says, keep up the good work, Johnny. You're the best, bro. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, we cracked 600 viewers. Thank you. There'll be a video tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. EDT probably. It's the video I'm thinking it'll be. It'll be a long-ass one. Can't see a price tag. I love how well lit that is. I'm guessing this stuff is quite expensive. All right, Jeanette, have a great evening. Thanks for tuning in. I think the Chesterfield shop is just up here on the left. maybe I'm thinking of the wrong area. It's the Globe and Mail. On the left. Another fancy furniture shop. In case you want to build a high-end waiting room. Condo size, those are not. Alan says, hello from Valencia, Spain. You lived for over 10 years in Sherburne and Queen. Good memories. We're very close to near Sherburne and Queen. We're building a subway stop there. There's a college in this area, George Brown College.
By the way, I'm so mad. You know that?
Fitzrovia, the future of rental living is here. I thought that was like one of those pharmaceuticals from the South or from the States. That's what it sounds like. What's the best quality for the price furniture stores in Toronto? I wouldn't know. I think you kind of get what you pay for. But if you have the budget and you're thinking longer term, there's stores like EQ3, CB2, West Elm. That's probably the sweet spot of getting something fairly high quality, but not going completely broke. I would go a step down from that. I bought my couch from Structube. They have spotty reviews online, but I'm quite happy with it. It's a little more IKEA priced. Hey, how do stop signs work? I don't know. I just drive right through them. And we walked by Betty's East earlier. Well, the original Betty's, originally called the Betty Ford Clinic until they got a cease and desist and changed their name. It was right over there. So we just lost the Imperial Pub, and we've lost Betty's for quite a while. Hey, David Warren. Thank you, David Warren. Thank you for the super chat and the $20. Cheers to you. One place you might want to check out since you're asking about furniture, they've got a location in Midtown. There's a lot of decent stuff in there. There's a sectional 2,900. There's a big sectional back there. That looks like it's 6,000. That's about right for what you'd pay for something of that size if it's decent quality. And EQ3 is coming up just across the street over there. I know someone who bought their sectional from EQ3. A little too rich for my blood, but it's a really nice store. They got a lot of good stuff. There's a place called Design Within Reach right next to it that I call Design Not Within Reach. It is stupidly overpriced. There's EQ3. And to Alan from Valencia, Spain. This is Sherburne Street, and you used to live just north of here. That is certainly not my style, but If that's your style, I guess the store has your name on it. There's design, quote unquote, within reach. Dude on an electric unicycle. Josh says good evening. Good evening to you. Thanks for joining the chat. Hey, there's a Sonder. Sonder went tits up, or I guess belly up would be a more appropriate way to say it. They pulled the plug on their whole operation. Everyone who was staying there had to leave. All their employees instantly terminated. All reservations canceled. If there's good news to come out of that, hopefully it frees up a lot of rental units. They were kind of operating on like a hybrid Airbnb / hotel style model. I stayed at the Sonder Hotel in London, the UK. I think the thing that killed them was the Marriott group pulled out of their partnership with Sonder and they had no financing to continue. So we are well into the St. Lawrence neighborhood. Bar Ardo. We're at Jarvis Street. There's the St. Lawrence Hall. St. Lawrence Market's just south of here. I went through there as part of Doors Open. After 10 years, you'll be back. Baby Grinch says to think that in 1995 a luxury dinner would cost you $20 to $30. Yeah, but think about what you made back then. Some things have gotten drastically cheaper than they used to be. Well, most things haven't. Look at big screen TVs. Even without inflation considered, they are much cheaper these days. That's such a beautiful site, St. James Cathedral. The financial district looming behind it.
Loaded moved Saturday night. Is that good for you? No.
No.
It's not.
Also, if Saturday is There's a very Toronto moment right there. The streetcar rumbling by. St. James Cathedral. Apparently they're redesigning this whole area between Front and King Street East here. The Zony Sky. I read that as Mission Sky. It sounds like a exhibit at the Epcot Center. Look at that thing. Some people talking about the cost of dining out these days. So it's interesting, I contacted YouTube about the issues with the premieres. They were kind of skipping around and lagging over the past month or so. And they wrote me back today asking me to send them a video of it doing it. But oddly enough, we didn't have any skips during this morning's premiere. Oh, thank you. So we'll see if that persists. And I wrote to my YouTube rep and I told him about it. I'm like, hey, YouTube support still hasn't gotten back to me on this. So maybe he's the one that cracked the whip that got them to reply to me. Maybe that's why they fixed it. We'll have to find out. There's Score and King. They were forced to close due to a plumbing issue, I think, at the building or the location next door, which is actually owned by the city of Toronto. Quite unfortunate. Hopefully they're able to open and get up and running soon. They already had to deal with this whole intersection being closed and dug up most of the summer. Just one last look at the St. James Cathedral. Back when I lived in this area, I remember when Casada opened, they served up what they called a big ass burrito. I remember going there with my friends quite regularly. There was no Chipotle in the area back then. Coffee shops were not built for work. We are. On-demand workspace. I don't know, there's plenty of people that probably work just fine in a cafe. Speaking of Google, that is the Google Canada office right there on the left.
Yeah. Like he ran after the kid.
I got to go there earlier in the year. It's a cool experience. I was given a tour of the property, got to have lunch there. The The King Edward Hotel. Speaking of E.J. Lennox, there's another building E.J. Lennox designed. Coming up on the left. Google also has a big presence in Waterloo. I think a lot of tech firms do. They do a lot of recruiting there as well. Ton of people waiting for the 504. That's a packed 503 streetcar or streetcar replacement bus. Look at all these people. Are they all going to get on there? There's plenty of room near the front if people just squished up. Driver refusing to open the front door. All right, Nat, thanks for tuning in. I'm just trying to get home. That is a lot of people. And I don't see any streetcars or buses coming this way. Good job, TTC. You got all these people waiting. Couldn't even get on that bus. This is a transit priority corridor. Hey, you're not allowed to turn left here.
No.
Do you not see the sign that says no left turns? I guess we'll head over to Union. Beware of snow and ice falling from the roof. Is that really going to shake off your liability? A clump of ice fell and hit me on the head. Because they put that sign there, it's not my fault, right? Or it's not their fault. Joey on King Street. Christmas says, we warned you. The sign itself is a liability. If I was one of those 10 billion people waiting for a streetcar or bus at King and Yonge, just walk to this stop. Like, why would you stand there and wait for a streetcar or bus that's going to be packed by the time it gets there, when you could easily just walk one stop west and get on here. It's kind of like when there's elevators out of service at my building and one's going down, even though I want to go up. I'll often get on the one going down just because it's going to come right back up to the lobby and it's going to be full. Sometimes you have to play a little 4D chess. But yeah, this is a pretty epic failure at rush hour on the TTC's part. Oh, there's a streetcar way down there. But at least these people are probably going to get on it. Here's my old office place. And the TV center across the street. Same thing. I used to work in this building, which I could go to Union Station, St. Andrew Station, or King Station after work. And if I was leaving like right at 5 or even 4:30, I would intentionally go to St. Andrew Station, which is in the opposite direction. So I'd be able to get on the train and get a seat, no problem. Then we'd scoot down to Union and then pop up to King, and it would be packed and not everyone could get on the train, let alone a seat. Sometimes you just have to use the old noggin a little bit. That's the old TSX building. Toronto Stock Exchange is no longer there, but they've kept the facade. Will the Ontario line relieve some TTC congestion? In theory, it should. That's why it's called, or was called, the relief line. There's a lot of unnecessary, impatient honking. And Murphy says the Ashley Black Friday sale is happening now. Good to know. Don't they sell like silverware? The RBC Towers. Gertish says, what's for dinner? I don't know. I had Chipotle last night. Maybe Banh Mi Boys?
I can't because they're always terrible.
Action happening.
Beats the heck out of me. Well, that sucks, Marcus. Lisa just had spaghetti. it's all lit up. Take a quick peek in here. The Alan Lambert Galleria. And Murphy says Jollibee. No, I will never go to Jollibee. At least not the one at Yonge and Eglinton ever again. After I ordered a combo that was ridiculously expensive and they didn't even put the damn sandwich in the bag. And I didn't realize till I got home, but it was like -10. I didn't feel like going there and trying to convince them that they didn't give me my sandwich. Sorry, I can hold a grudge. Serves me right for just taking the bag from the person at the counter and not checking. Greetings 876 reacts. Awesome. That cop is giving that taxi driver shit. He said, I saw you going through a red light and endangering pedestrians. Hey, good to know these people aren't just standing out here directing traffic, which is what they're supposed to do to keep the intersections clear. That was a stern but respectful talking to he was giving that driver. Hopefully it comes with a ticket. From the sounds of it, they ran a red light and swerved around some pedestrians. If you're ever gonna just have a cop hanging out and having them enforce traffic, these busy intersections in the financial district are as good as anywhere. They are an absolute gong show. But I like the fact that he was talking to them from a pedestrian safety point of view. Not just a, you ran a red light, here's your ticket, but you were endangering a bunch of people. I wholeheartedly agree with his approach. Good job. Trojan says the tower looks cool in purple. It does. So why am I pointing the camera that way? Are the Raps wearing purple tonight? Why is the tower that color? I don't know. Just waiting for the lights here. I'll see if that person is getting written a ticket or not in a moment. It looks like the light is stuck on an advanced green going left. Yeah, these pedestrians are just like... Oh, it's finally flipping. I don't want to get in anyone's way. Oh, I think they just pulled up and they put their four-ways on. They just moved forward. The cop probably just asked them to get out of the intersection. They're close to it. That driver is still there. May you be ticketed. Hey, that guy's actually a really good singer. Good enough that might get picked up as a cover song. But like all things good and bad, this one must come to an end. I'm gonna end this one and go home and pick up some dinner on the way home. I want to thank everyone so much for tuning in. Mods, Patreon supporters, channel members, and just everyone else. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when I go live next. I go live 3-4 times a week on this channel, and usually every Sunday on the Johnny Stumbles channel. I went live there last night, Sunday at 8 p.m. Also, feel free to leave a comment on this video as well. It's good for the algorithm. I don't want to sound like I'm begging or anything, but I always want to hear what you guys are saying. I'm going to be going through all my comments tomorrow. It's been a while since I've done that, so I've got that on the slate. But anyways, thank you so much, guys. Hope you have an awesome Monday. And in the words of Tymo Yoink. All right, thanks, guys.
Oh,